Okay, my friends, hello, this is Edward Kranz, the Honey Badger Binder of BookForge, and this is BookForge Live. I'm going to check real quick and make sure that we've got some audio. I'm hearing sound, so it looks like we're going to be just fine. Okay, my friends, hello, this is Edward Kranz, Honey Badger Binder of BookForge. Audio's fine. Okay, so today, I'm going to be doing a lot of sorting and figuring out projects. So, yeah, it's funny. I've always heard that, you know, never heard of a bookbinder who's on time, and yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm not on time at all, and I need to get there. So I'll talk you through some of what I'm doing. I've got some really cool, exciting announcements. I know there hasn't been a lot of bookbinding on my channel lately, and I'm going to fix that. Well, not only the live sessions are going to get back on foot, and I'll be working in the bindery. We are going to be starting in 2024 several different programs to make sure that I deliver you content. So I work better with a structure like that. And one of the things that we're going to be doing is BookForge Atelier. Now, it's funny, I've been pronouncing that word wrong for so long, it's really hard to say. But what an atelier is a studio or workshop, usually of an artist. And in that program, we're going to be doing a lot of new books from start to finish. And the first session is going to be the spring back binding. I have 5 or 6 of them that I need to get done, and I would like to start them. So the Atelier program is supposed to start in January, and it's supposed to be on Thursdays. But starting this week, for 3 weeks, for the rest of what year is it? 2023. So I guess next year is 2024. We will be working the spring back bindings, and then so that'll be Sundays, a couple hours from 1 to 3 for 2023. And then when we switch over to 2024, the Atelier program will switch to its regularly scheduled time on Thursdays. But of course, all the live sessions that I record remain available to you, so you can watch them at your leisure at 10 o'clock the next morning, or 5 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning, or in the middle of the afternoon the next day. It doesn't matter. The live session's nice because at some point when I get a monitor in here and I can actually see comments in that, I can answer you in real time. But what I would love for you to do is start using the comments, interact, ask questions, talk about what you're doing in relation to what I'm doing. Yeah, I would love to have some more interaction than we actually have on this page. I want to start delivering more content. I feel I've been lax, and you understand that I just went through another major move, trying to get this place set up. So I'm not making any more excuses. You're going to start seeing a regular flow of content, and releasing the Atelier program early is my way of saying I'm sorry and thank you for your patience and understanding. The Atelier program is strictly for the bookbinder and the book artist tiers. They will not be released to the public or lower tiers at any time, and they are exclusively for you guys here on Patreon. So this content won't appear on YouTube or any other social media outlet, and I think we're going to keep it that way. The other thing I'm doing, I went through my YouTube channel and I'm cleaning out a lot of garbage. When I first started the BookForge YouTube channel, I had no idea what I was doing with it. I posted a lot of stuff that, quite frankly, I just got rid of it. I'm sorting through some of the stuff that I kept. I'm releasing some of it in my blog on the BookForge website, and So as people discover that blog, they can go and see the older videos. And then, of course, the newer stuff we'll start releasing here on Patreon. So I'm going to get to work. There's a lot to do here, and but that was my big announcement. Tune in Sunday. Let's see how the Atelier program is going to go. And if you're wondering, when I talk about a springback, this is an early one that I did, and it's not perfect. So I took it over, and I'm using it as my personal journal. They've got these big, heavy, thick spines and thick covers, and what's really cool is when you open them up, they literally pop open. You see, you got that, and the spine holds its mark, but it pops open to lay not perfectly flat, but that's reasonably flat for a book. And this was done ledger style, and if you're wondering what's in here, so I'm making these as really nice desk journals. And so I don't know if you can see, there's a dot grid matrix, and then at the top of the page we've got what do we got? The months and the days, and then the year, and then the days of the week. So it's a dateless calendar. So you just mark whatever you need to. That way, when I'm going to sell these in 2024. That way, when that year runs out, you haven't used the entire book. It doesn't matter because it's you mark the dates on it. So, and but this features some cool things. We have some made end papers with a reinforced cloth spine and the sprinkled edges, and of course you've got this beautiful layout on the inside for people to write in. So yeah, this is what we're going to be making over I don't know how many weeks it'll take, but I'm going to be making 5 or 6 of them. One is for a client, the other ones are for me to put in the store. But we'll go start to finish, and if we don't finish it in the 3 weeks of the Atelier sessions here in 2023, we will continue it in 2024, and we'll just keep going. And so each of these Atelier sessions will focus on a particular binding style, binding structure, and we will go start to finish. We'll discuss some history and all kinds of cool stuff. So this is what we have coming up. You can start watching that this Sunday. All right, so let's talk about what's in here, because I need to get this cleared off. So I was working on these AA books. This is a 12 by 12 AA book, and it needed rebound. These are made cheaply, and they come apart. And these people have had these books for years and years, and they had some writing and other stuff in them. So I rebound them. This one here, the original spine didn't survive the process. It just deteriorated, so I wasn't able to reapply it. This particular one, the spine did survive, and I was able to reapply it. And we've got new end papers, it's rebound, and now she can continue her journey. And I'll be finishing these up today. I'll be on camera. All right, let's clear some of these off. So I actually have a bench to work on. Okay. I'm gonna have to get a glass of water here shortly, but let's. This is a project that I've been working. It's a Beatles collection of music, and it's obviously, you can see from the cover, it's just totally beat up. They wanted it to lay flat, and I understand what they want. I don't necessarily agree with the route that we chose to go, but what we ended up doing is we removed the spine and we punched holes, and I will be making a custom 3-ring binder for this. And we'll take the original graphics and we'll do an inset pocket, and we'll insert the original cover into the new cover and go from there. I just ordered the 3-ring mechanism for the new case, so this particular project is on hold until I can get that in. So you might actually see me working on this next week. All right, so there's that. I'm definitely going to be working this because the last thing I need to do is trim down the original end papers and paste them into the books. So the other thing that we're going to be working on today, I need to go through some of the next client's books, but I'm going to spend some time on this Bible. I need to go through the pages and really assess how many of them actually need paper repair. I know a lot of the signature folio folds are shot in the first few sections and probably the end, and I just really need to go over this. So we're going to be taking a look at this book here shortly, and let's see if I can get rid of this. That should be over here with these guys. All right. So from time to time, folks bring in books and they really don't know what their value is. And I think it's funny because, have you ever seen this book before? No. I mean, there's hundreds and thousands of books out there, and I haven't read all the books that I personally want to read, and I doubt I ever will. And I haven't seen all the books, especially a lot of these older ones that were printed well before I was born. This is kind of cool. It's I'm going to consider this a pamphlet style book. It has staples in it, which I don't like, but we're going to remove the staples and put in linen stitches there. But this is the Pennsylvania Career of John Brown. They had another book about John Brown, and it was covered in mold. It was no value to it, but I'm going to be looking this up to find out basically what the value is. So this is a 1926 edition published by the Journal Corey in Pennsylvania. So yeah, it's something I need to do. I won't do that on camera because I have to get the computer and look stuff up, but and this is the manager's standard horse and stocks book. So they want to know if this book is worth rebinding, and I don't know the actual value of this book. It's a really nice, like 4.5 inches thick. It needs some rebacking. The spine needs relined. The text block looks relatively intact, though I haven't gotten it apart to assess that. But essentially, they want to know relative value so if they know that they can recoup their investment. When you're looking at rebinding books, you've got two different types of value. You have a financial value, which is what they're looking at because they bought this book with the hopes of selling it for a profit. There's no sentimental value. And then I just hit upon the other value, sentimental value. A lot of people, like these AA books are cheap. You can go buy them for $12 in brand new, but they have, signatures and quotes and, from sponsors and sponsees, and they've got a history with these books that they want to keep the book. So while the book has no financial value, it definitely has a sentimental value. And that's really the two types of books that I work with. And so this person wants to know, are these worth investing in? And that's going to be my job to figure that out. But that'll be later on today or off camera because I'll have to really leave the camera for you to take care of that. And I don't think that's fair. All right, so the other things I need to do is I am way behind a lot of my client books. And this particular client is a friend of mine. And this will be for the book artist here, and I can't get the tape off. And I keep the client's name away from you, it's on my side. I taped these shut so they stayed shut during transport. Still trying to keep the client's name on my side of the table. All right, and I started this project months ago, and then of course the whole move thing derailed me, and it's got some really cool aspects to it. All right, let's see what we got here. Huh, I'm not even sure this book belongs in here. This looks like this is just something that needs. Huh. All right. It's an older project, just a blank journal. All right, so we've got. So this paper is really fun. This is a hemp paper, and we'll be using this in the cover design. And then we've got some leather. All right. So these are going to be a box set, and each of the books is going to be a thin notebook with a leather cover, and this will be what's a little trippy is we're using, I don't know if it's backlit enough, well enough for you to see that, but these are x-rays from the client, and I believe she works as a technician. So you're going to have the leather cover, you're going to have the x-ray, you've got the hemp end papers, and then the blank paper on the inside. And then these will be bound like this, and they'll be in a box set of 3. So this is a project I need to get back on. I don't remember what derailed me. So we're going to be working this. Maybe this will be, once we finish the springbacks, maybe this will be the next book set for the atelier. I'm not French. I don't speak French. Program. All right, so this is really a big thing. And then this is another client. And I want to say that this is going to be one of the other springbacks. And it is. It's going to be, it's got a couple things in there, but yeah, so this will be one of the springbacks we work. So that's good. And then we'll be starting this books. All right, so these are going to be getting some rebacks. One will get I'll have to be resewn or some other process. But we've got, say, Walden's. And we've got, I'm not sure what this looks like, some sort of dictionary. Fruits book. And then we got a Shakespeare. So we will be working these. So I've got stuff lined up. So we got plenty of material to work with here. And this poor sucker. But before we get to this book, I'm going to get a cutting mat and a blade, and I'm going to get that set up here so we can trim down those end papers and get them affixed to I think this cutting mat has seen better days. I have to get a new one at some point. We're going to need a brush for the paste. I've already got the paste over there. And we're going to need some waste paper. I know I'm really close to the camera right now. I'm sorry. Need a couple sheets of waste paper to use. Now I'm turning my back to the camera. That's a shame. A couple more sheets of waste. All right, we'll throw some light onto the subject. I'm sure you would love to be able to see what I'm doing. Relatively fresh braid. All right, I'm just going to take a little bit off this because I want to make sure that this doesn't get into the gutter fold. All right, so there's one trimmed down. This looks like it already got trimmed in the process of removing it. And then this. All right, we're just going to take the hair off of this one. No. No. So I'm pretty sure I got these a little mixed up. A slight height difference. Alright, so that's a taller book. Alright, and that's a shorter book. Oh, it'd be nice to have some smaller boards available. I haven't unpacked them yet. Alright, well, looks like I'm using the larger boards. Okay. This was on the back. I'm pretty sure this was on the front. All right, I'm going to tip this in. It's going to go just like that. All right. Nice. I don't want this brush. So the other ones I'm going to paste down completely because they were thin and didn't really weather the removal process as well as I hoped. Okay. So the top is going to be towards me now. I usually don't do it this way, but with the camera sitting where it's at. Now this was originally on the board like that. Although I want to make sure is that I get these layered right. So when I removed this, I had to sand this down a bit to make sure that that wasn't too thick. Now I want that thicker brush. But since I've already got this one going, this is going to be the fun part, getting in and around these imperfections. Without getting glue all over the inside. A little heavy on the glue there, but I don't know, it'll be all right. So again, before I put this down, I want to make sure that the paper tears are layered correctly. And I suppose I should have a moisture barrier on this one. All right, let's figure out where these are going to go. This was back cover. This is front cover. And this looks like it's fly leaf. So let's make sure that we're front is front, top is top. I think what we're going to do, I'm going to use this as a, there we go. Okay, and then this needs to go there. So again, I'll glue this out. With my tiny brush. Yes, I know it's small. if you're wondering what this is Rime, and it is a woven polyester fabric. I use it as a separation layer. Glue tends not to stick to it. And I have the moisture barrier, which is an acetate, and then I put the Rime down to help the book not stick to anything. All right, so the top is now near me. I think I messed that up in the other book. I think I put the, I did not put it upside down. Yeah, that was a shite. Well, I use PVA. There's no lifting it now. That paper was already thin and in sad shape, and if I try to lift that, I'm screwed. But the top was towards me. It's not. See, I'm trying to talk to you guys, and I messed myself up. It's not the first time, and I'm not blaming you guys. That was I even turned around, so top towards me. And then I immediately glued out the paper and put it the other way around. How many of you caught that before I just brought it up? Be honest. Comment down below. Let me know. Did you catch it as I was doing it? Did you say, what the hell is that guy doing? He just effed that up. Yes, he did. Hopefully, the client will be happy that the paper was included and less inclined to be upset with me for the mistake. Though if they were upset with me for the mistake, I would 100% understand. I'm a little upset with me for the mistake too. Okay, moisture barrier. We're running low on Rime. Rime, however you want to pronounce it. Boom. All right. It's a challenge working from this side of the table because usually I'm working between those two benches, but I'm not happy with what's going on in the background. So we're going to keep the camera facing this way for now so you don't see my pig pen. All right, those are in the press. That needs done at some point. All right. So I do a kind of a clean as you go type practice where a lot of times I'll reset between clients or books or whatever you want to call it. It's a carryover from when I worked on Boeing aircraft, and I can't stand a lot of visual noise, so it's an ADHD thing. One of these days we should have a conversation about bookbinding, arts in general, and ADHD and how people function with things like that, especially when you're trying to work as a professional in a field. All right, I'm going to toss this. I'm going to get a glass of water because I'm thirsty, and then we're going to start taking a look at this Bible. All right, be right back. Don't go away. Stay off screen for a second. All right, I think also gonna get rid of this. This is something I've been putting off for a while because this book is in really sad shape. So these are going to be replaced. The end papers, they're brittle. They're in really sad shape. I will probably replace this, and I say that because this gentleman is going to give this to his wife as a present, and I will keep this as part of the history of the book, but I think they should have a blank to start in it. One, two. Those will need paper repair. Holy shit. 3, 4. Scissors. All right. I'm not sure how this actually pans out, so I'll have to go through and make sure that everything's here, but this looks like a signature, maybe more. That'll need repaired. A lot of repair is going to need to be done along the spine edges. So if you're wondering if this book is worth fixing, in my opinion, no. I think you could have found a comparable one to buy in better shape than what I'm going to charge him to work on this, because the paper repairs alone are going to be a small fortune. And then this book is so brittle, I question, once I rebind it, how long it'll even last. And I feel bad. That he chose to invest in this. I suggested to him, alright, so that maybe he did want to find an alternative book, but he decided he wanted to save this one. So I will do my best over the next week or so. You can have it after the first of the year. All right, I think that's going to be the end of the major repairs as far as the paper goes on that side of the book. I mean, this all needs work, but yeah, so it's all going to need repaired on some level. Let's take a look at the other side and see how bad that is. Maybe another challenge is finding end paper that matches that. That's not as bad as I thought it would be. All right. Yeah, I have to order quite a bit of repair tissue, hanji paper. I don't know that that actually goes in this section. That's what I wanted to see. Okay. I would love to start that today, but I don't really have the hanji paper for it. So I need to make a note that I need to order some hanji paper. So let's get a notebook. So we need some hanji. Rami. And we're going to need some blotter paper. Those are going to be the main things that I need for that particular book. I suppose we can see if I can find the hardware to match that. All right, this is for the Bible. Here comes that reset. Be right back. Okay. All right, what's next? Woohoo. Fruits book. pull this one out. I think that's the fruits book. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, so if you are not aware, you do not want to keep your books in plastic bags. If you have to put it in a plastic bag, you really want to leave the bag open-ended. Let's see, let's take some of this stuff out of here. All right. To put all of this stuff in the bag. Sit it in here for a second. I'm going to see if we can pick off some of this debris here. Oh. I'm going to switch cameras. I need to get some Cat 5 cable and a couple other things, and that will enable me to have my video switch in here. Right now it's kind of tethered to the computer because I have a limitation in how far I can get. That's one of the things that the Patreon funds go for, is getting equipment so I can make better educational videos. And but everything takes time. Okay. So what I want to do, if you don't mind, is I'm going to take a selfie. What I'm trying to do not very good with the whole phone thing. I don't know if any of those will come out. But we'll look later. All right, my friends, I am going to use some methyl cellulose on this and see if I can't pull these boards off for one. Now, a lot of times what I would do is I'd put some saran wrap over this, and that would keep it from seeping in or drying too fast. I usually don't have my methylcellulose as loose as this. I usually like it a little thicker. I find it seeps in less that way, but this is what I have made. All right, we're gonna let this bloom a little bit. I want it to loosen up that lining, and I want it to cause the old adhesive to bloom, so we can scrape that off. Alright, now move along to the next book. Okay. There's those two pieces. So they opted not to have this relined or anything, so I'm just basically going to reback the case. Which is a shame, but it's all right. So what we need to do I need to trim this down. This stuff aside, sweep this out of the way. And I'm going to get cutting that back up. Alright, the one thing I do want to do is I want that to stay away from the cut. I'll trim that up in a minute. Poor thing. Really not a lot of label left. So what I do want to do is I want to clean these edges up the best I can. Okay, I'll take a little bit of work after that. I think for the moment, what I want to do is scrape this book. I think it's been sitting. And you do. Okay. So I got just a little bit of brown there, and I got a little bit down here that wants to come off. So we're going to let that sit a minute, and we'll scrape that again. So you see how easy that came off? It just boom. Alright, so these two guys, I'll have to work on the end paper there a little bit, but those are trimmed up. There's a lot going on here. Like I said, we're just going to do a rebacking. I'll clean up some of this, glue it down. This is for the book that we have in the press. Let's see if we can't clean up this edge just a little bit. It won't be perfect. I'll have to go in and trim that. Okay, one more book in that set. Since we're cleaning up boards, this one definitely needs some cleaning up. That's going to need more. That's just really fibrous and chunky. All right. Yeah, I'm not really going to save much of that. All right, so I already told you these books aren't going to get relined. It was not their budget. They just want them gently rebacked. All right, so I'm going to switch cameras again. Okay, I'm pretty close to where we're going to end up with these particular books. I think I've made a nice mess here on the bench. So I'm happy with where that one is. Then we're going to put this stuff with it. I don't know why I shouldn't keep that. There's nothing. I'll give it to him anyway. So there's those things. And then I've got boards for that one. And I've got boards for that one and end papers. I'm going to leave this dry a little bit because I got a little bit of the methyl cellulose over the edge, but it looks like, oh, what is this? There we go. I like that better. All right, so what's going to happen with this? This particular book, the option that they went for was called a lumbac binding, which isn't actually what we're going to do. What we're going to do, because a lumbac binding suggests that we're going to double fan it. And quite frankly, that's just not going to happen with this book because it's sewn into signatures. And what they want to do is sawn in kerfs. Now another option would be to sew where it's broken here. I'll show you. This book is, there it goes. So it's broken there. And honestly, the book should be disbanded and resewn, but that's not what the client wanted. So I'm going to get this lined up. And actually, it's a bit wet to do the sawing, but I'll explain the process. A sawn-in kerf is a woodworking term, and essentially you make a cut and you put another piece in. And in this case, we're going to make a cut and we're going to put in cord, and we'll reline it, and the cord will help hold everything together the way that they want. But I can't do that while the paper is damp, so I gotta wait a few hours for that to dry, which brings me to the end of this session. I think I've pretty much done everything that I can do on camera. I need to go that way and do stuff. But hey, tune in Sunday. The atelier session. We're going to be starting the spring back bindings. I'll introduce them. We'll talk about them a bit. We're going to start sewing, see how far we get, and we'll go from there. In the meantime, this has been Edward Kranz, the Honey Badger Binder, and this was BookForge Live. Have a great day, night, whichever.